The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a comprehensive model for a future driven by data and humans. It aims to balance the exponential growth of data with the need to respect individual rights, promote transparency, and ensure ethical data practices. Key components of the framework include foundational principles such as human agency, transparency, fairness, accountability, privacy, and stakeholder engagement. Structural components outlining data governance frameworks, technological solutions, and human-centric practices necessary for effective HDI implementation. An implementation roadmap providing a phased approach for organizations to integrate HDI principles. Ethical and practical considerations addressing challenges such as data complexity, bias mitigation, user empowerment, and regulatory compliance. Training and education stressing the importance of cultivating an HDI-centric culture through comprehensive training programs for employees and education initiatives for users, and monitoring and adaptation highlighting the need for continuous evaluation and responsiveness to technological, regulatory, and societal shifts. The article argues that adopting HDI principles is not only a moral imperative but also essential for building trust and legitimacy in digital ecosystems. It emphasizes the need for a multidisciplinary approach, combining insights from technology, law, ethics, and user experience design. Future directions for HDI research and implementation are discussed, including the development of adaptive ethical frameworks, technological innovations, and strategies for global application. This work contributes to the growing field of ethical data management by providing a structured approach for organizations to navigate the complexities of data interactions in a manner that respects human values and promotes social well-being. The HDI framework seeks to empower individuals with the ability to understand, control, and negotiate their data relationships, recognizing that individuals are not just subjects of data collection, but active participants in a complex data ecosystem. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a comprehensive approach to redefining the relationship between individuals and data-driven technologies. HDI emphasizes the importance of transparency, comprehensibility, and control in data systems, advocating for a more collaborative and responsible ethos. The framework integrates three core principles: legibility, agency, and negotiability. Legibility involves making data processes and systems understandable to individuals, while agency empowers individuals to take action regarding their personal data. Negotiability recognizes the dynamic nature of data relationships, promoting flexible and context-sensitive approaches to data rights and permissions. The HDI framework is crucial in today's data-driven world, where data ubiquity and complexity have created a need for new approaches to data governance and interaction. The rise of algorithmic decision-making, high-profile data breaches, and regulatory requirements have further emphasized the importance of HDI. The framework offers a pathway to restore trust and give individuals more control over their data, while also addressing the digital divide and data literacy. The article provides a comprehensive exploration and analysis of HDI, including conceptual clarification, framework development, and practical implementation. It also discusses the ethical implications and practical challenges associated with HDI implementation, as well as future directions for research. The article highlights the significance of HDI in addressing the complexities of our data-driven world, including the need for a new paradigm to address ethical, social, and technical challenges. The HDI framework has far-reaching implications for researchers, practitioners, policymakers, and organizations navigating the complexities of ethical data management. It provides a practical framework for operationalizing data protection and privacy as fundamental human rights, while also contributing to the responsible development of AI and other data-driven technologies. By centering human values and agency, HDI offers a transformative approach to redefining our relationship with data and data-driven technologies. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a comprehensive approach to addressing the complex challenges of data ethics, privacy, and user empowerment in the digital age. It defines core principles such as data legibility, agency, and negotiability, which are interconnected and mutually reinforcing. For instance, data legibility is a prerequisite for meaningful agency, as individuals can only make informed decisions about their data if they understand how it is being used. Similarly, negotiability supports both legibility and agency by allowing for adaptable and context-sensitive data relationships. Recent studies have expanded on these core principles. For example, Victorelli et al. 2020 propose additional dimensions to the HDI framework, including data quality, security, and ethical use. Their work underscores the evolving nature of HDI and its responsiveness to emerging challenges in the data-driven landscape. Furthermore, Salaja et al. 2019 have applied HDI principles to specific domains such as media experiences, demonstrating how these concepts can be operationalized in real-world contexts. The multifaceted nature of human data interaction necessitates an interdisciplinary approach, drawing insights from diverse fields such as computer science, ethics, law, and social sciences. This interdisciplinary perspective becomes particularly crucial when considering the complex and dynamic nature of the data lifecycle. As data moves through its various stages from collection and processing to storage, utilization, and eventual disposal, it intersects with a wide array of disciplines and stakeholders. The HDI framework seeks to address these socio-technical challenges by integrating perspectives from fields such as human-computer interaction, data science, ethics, and policy. By addressing these challenges, the framework aims to create data-driven experiences and systems that are aligned with user needs and values, ultimately fostering a more equitable and user-centric data-driven landscape. The data lifecycle is a critical component of the HDI framework, encapsulating the journey of data from its creation to its eventual disposal. This holistic view ensures that ethical considerations and human-centric practices are applied at every stage of data handling. The proposed framework advocates for a comprehensive understanding of the data lifecycle, encompassing the processes of collection, storage, processing, and utilization. By examining each stage of this lifecycle through the lens of human values, needs, and preferences, the framework aims to develop solutions that empower individuals and foster trust in data-driven decision-making. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework represents a transformative shift in data management, prioritizing user agency, transparency, and ethics to foster a more equitable and empowering data ecosystem. Human engagement is crucial throughout the data lifecycle to ensure ethical, equitable, and socially beneficial data practices. This involves empowering individuals with agency and choice in data collection, processing, and utilization, while fostering transparency and accountability in data-driven systems. The HDI framework emphasizes the importance of user oversight and the ability to challenge decisions, empowering individuals to shape how their information is used and fostering accountability and transparency. Incorporating this lifecycle approach into the HDI framework ensures consistent application of human-centric principles across all data-related activities, enhancing both ethical practices and overall data management efficiency. Before implementing the HDI framework, organizations must carefully evaluate and prepare their existing structures, processes, and culture. This involves addressing preliminary considerations, including ethical, technical, and operational considerations, to improve data practices. Ethical considerations involve deliberating on the ethical implications of data practices, ensuring respect for user autonomy, privacy, and preventing harm. Technical considerations require assessing the capabilities and limitations of existing technological infrastructure, identifying areas for improvement, and ensuring that data practices are underpinned by robust, user-centric systems. This may involve enhancing data management and governance frameworks, implementing user-friendly data access and control interfaces, and deploying advanced analytics and visualization tools. Operational considerations encompass the processes and policies that govern data practices within the organization, including revisiting data governance frameworks to explicitly incorporate HDI principles. Stakeholder engagement is also crucial, involving users, regulatory bodies, and civil society organizations to ensure that the organization's efforts to implement HDI principles are responsive to the needs and concerns of those affected by its data practices. The alignment analysis phase involves a comprehensive assessment of the organization's existing data practices against the principles of HDI, identifying areas of alignment, gaps, and opportunities for improvement. This analysis serves as a foundational step in identifying areas for enhancement and informing the subsequent implementation of HDI-centric initiatives. The paper discusses the importance of mapping an organization's data practices to HDI principles, beginning with a comprehensive review of current policies, procedures, and technical systems related to data management. This review should consider factors such as data collection methods, storage and processing practices, data sharing and disclosure protocols, and mechanisms for user control and transparency. By conducting a thorough alignment analysis, organizations can gain a clear understanding of their current state and develop a roadmap to effectively implement the HDI principles. The initiation of a HDI framework within an organization necessitates a foundational step: a meticulous audit of existing data handling practices. This critical examination serves not merely as a procedural checkpoint but as a profound inquiry into the organization's data lifecycle management, from inception to obsolescence. By undertaking this audit, an organization can delineate a comprehensive baseline from which to enhance and refine its data stewardship, guided by the tenets of HDI. The proposed HDI framework is a comprehensive process-based model designed to address the complex challenges of data management and utilization. Building upon the foundational, this framework expands and operationalizes the HDI principles to provide a practical guide for organizations, policymakers, and researchers. The framework is structured around 9 key components, emphasizing its process-oriented nature. These components include foundational principles, structural components, ethical considerations, practical considerations, and an implementation roadmap. The proposed Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a comprehensive, multidimensional approach to managing and utilizing data in a manner that prioritizes ethical considerations, upholds fundamental human rights, and promotes the overall well-being of society. This framework guides organizations in cultivating a data ecosystem that deeply respects individual autonomy, empowering users with meaningful control over their personal information. The HDI framework emphasizes the critical importance of transparency, requiring clear and comprehensible explanations regarding data handling practices, algorithmic decision-making processes, and the security protocols in place to safeguard data integrity. Ensuring fairness and non-discrimination is a core tenet, demanding proactive efforts to identify and mitigate biases within datasets and algorithmic systems, thereby promoting equitable outcomes for all individuals. Accountability is woven throughout the framework, with mechanisms established to address instances of data misuse, facilitate redress for affected parties, and demonstrate organizational responsibility. Additionally, the framework underscores the value of meaningful stakeholder engagement, advocating for the inclusion of diverse perspectives and the co-creation of ethical data practices with users and affected communities. The framework presents 8 foundational principles: agency, legibility, equity, accountability, adaptability, enhancing HDI culture, data lifecycle management, and monitoring and adaptation. These principles aim to foster a data ecosystem that not only drives innovation and efficiency but also respects human values and promotes societal well-being. The process-based nature of the HDI framework ensures that organizations can continually refine and improve their HDI practices in response to new challenges and opportunities in the ever-evolving data landscape. This holistic approach is designed to be iterative and adaptable across various sectors and organizational sizes, recognizing the dynamic nature of the data landscape and providing flexibility to address emerging challenges. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a multidisciplinary approach that aims to establish ethical principles for data handling and use. It emphasizes the importance of agency, legibility, equity, accountability, privacy, participation, negotiability, human centricity, and consent in data practices. These principles are foundational to creating a data ecosystem that respects individual rights and promotes social good. Data governance is critical for ensuring that data management practices align with ethical principles and regulatory requirements. This involves developing and implementing clear policies that cover informed consent, data minimization, purpose limitation, data quality, retention, and deletion. It also includes addressing security measures and incident response plans to protect data integrity and confidentiality. Privacy and data protection are essential aspects of HDI, safeguarding individuals' rights to control their personal information and ensuring that data is handled securely and respectfully. Implementing privacy by design approaches and privacy-enhancing technologies, PETs, are practical steps towards operationalizing this principle. Participation and engagement advocate for the inclusion of stakeholders, including data subjects, in the design and governance of data-driven systems. This principle emphasizes the value of diverse perspectives and the importance of creating ethical data practices with users and affected communities. Negotiability recognizes that the context and meaning of data can change over time and across different situations. It emphasizes the need for flexible, dynamic approaches to data permissions and use. Implementing negotiability involves developing mechanisms for users to revise their data sharing preferences over time, creating systems that allow for context-dependent data permissions, and establishing protocols for renegotiating data use agreements as new uses or insights emerge. Human centricity places human needs, values, and experiences at the core of data system design and operation. This principle ensures that technological advancements serve human interests rather than subordinating human agency to algorithmic imperatives. Key aspects of human centricity in HDI include prioritizing user experience and accessibility in data interfaces, considering the psychological and social impacts of data practices on individuals and communities, and ensuring that data-driven systems augment rather than replace human decision-making capacities. Informed consent is a foundational principle in HDI, rooted in respect for individual autonomy and self-determination. It requires that individuals be provided with clear, understandable information about data collection, use, and potential implications before agreeing to share their data. Effective implementation of consent in HDI frameworks involves developing clear, accessible consent mechanisms, providing granular options for consent, ensuring that consent is ongoing and revocable, and educating users about the implications of their consent decisions. The structural components of the HDI framework provide a tangible architecture for embedding ethical principles into the practical operations of data-driven systems. These components are critical for translating ethical commitments into actionable strategies and processes that can be systematically applied within organizations. By bridging the conceptual with the practical, we can begin to envision how HDI can transform from a set of ideals into a lived reality within complex organizational environments. The Human-Centered Data Integration (HDI) framework emphasizes the importance of establishing regular audit processes to evaluate data practices, defining clear roles and responsibilities for data stewardship, and utilizing technological tools to facilitate ethical data practices. This includes deploying consent management platforms, CMPs, to streamline user consent, data visualization tools to enhance transparency, explainable AI, XAI, systems to provide clear explanations of algorithmic decisions, and privacy-enhancing technologies, PETs, to minimize personal data exposure. Organizational culture plays a crucial role in prioritizing human values and well-being, involving training and development programs for staff, user education and empowerment initiatives, and stakeholder engagement. This includes gathering meaningful input and feedback from diverse stakeholders to guide policy development, technology selection, and operational practices. The HDI framework offers a comprehensive blueprint for organizations to navigate complex ethical challenges, fostering a culture of responsibility, accountability, and transparency. This, in turn, enhances trust and credibility with stakeholders, enabling organizations to make meaningful contributions towards building a more equitable and inclusive digital ecosystem. The implementation of HDI frameworks requires attention to both ethical and practical considerations. Key ethical considerations include respect for individual autonomy, equity and justice, transparency and accountability, and responsible innovation. Ensuring individual control over data requires robust mechanisms for informed consent and ongoing consent management. Organizations must also proactively identify and mitigate biases in data collection, analysis, and application processes, adopting inclusive design and engagement practices to address these challenges. Transparency and accountability are essential for ensuring meaningful accountability, with stakeholders requiring access to comprehensive information about data practices. Organizations must develop robust, user-friendly data policies and communication channels to inform individuals about their data practices. Embracing transparency allows organizations to build stronger trust relationships with stakeholders, empowering individuals to make well-informed choices regarding their personal data. The responsible development and application of data-driven technologies necessitate a strong commitment to protecting ethical principles, individual rights, and promoting social well-being. Organizations must adopt a holistic, sustainability-focused approach that considers the environmental and social impacts of their data production, storage, and processing activities. This includes examining energy consumption, emissions, and e-waste generated by their data infrastructure, as well as the broader societal implications of their data-driven systems. To integrate human data interaction (HDI) principles into existing systems, organizations must conduct a thorough systems analysis to identify and address potential integration challenges. This analysis should examine current data management workflows, technological capabilities, and existing policies and procedures. A well-crafted, phased implementation plan can then be developed, allowing for a gradual and strategic adaptation of HDI principles. Implementing HDI frameworks may require the development or adoption of novel technologies that effectively address the unique requirements and complexities of data management and interaction. This includes the integration of privacy-preserving data management tools and dynamic consent platforms. Evaluating the feasibility and scalability of these technological solutions is essential to ensure their successful integration within the organization's data infrastructure and practices. Organizations must design HDI criteria that are highly scalable and adaptable, ensuring their long-term resilience and responsiveness to evolving technologies, regulatory environments, and organizational needs. A modular architecture allows for the rapid adaptation to evolving circumstances, enabling the organization to update data privacy management components in response to new regulatory requirements or integrate new data analytics tools. Successful integration of HDI principles necessitates a well-versed and empowered workforce capable of navigating the intricacies of contemporary data systems while upholding ethical data practices. Comprehensive training programs should be developed, emphasizing the ethical considerations underlying data use, data privacy, and algorithmic decision-making. The implementation of a comprehensive HDI framework represents a paradigm shift in data management practices. A structured, yet flexible approach is necessary, commencing with a thorough, multidimensional audit of existing data practices. This audit should include data flow mapping, policy evaluation, technological infrastructure assessment, and stakeholder impact analysis. The results of this audit serve as the foundation for a detailed gap analysis, highlighting areas where current practices fall short of HDI standards and identifying opportunities for improvement. The paper discusses the implementation of human data interaction (HDI) principles in organizations, focusing on three phases: audit and strategic alignment, policy development and technological integration, and implementation and evaluation. In the first phase, organizations must conduct a comprehensive audit of their current data practices to identify compliance gaps and opportunities for improvement. This involves stakeholder engagement through multi-stakeholder workshops, ethical deliberation forums, and user experience research to foster a sense of shared ownership and commitment to HDI principles. The audit findings should inform the development of a strategic roadmap for HDI implementation, including vision articulation, goal setting, resource allocation, and phased implementation planning. The second phase focuses on translating HDI principles into tangible organizational policies and technological solutions. This includes comprehensive policy reformation, such as establishing an ethical framework, developing data lifecycle policies, designing consent and control mechanisms, and creating accountability structures. Technological infrastructure enhancement is also crucial, involving the implementation of privacy-enhancing technologies, consent management platforms, explainable AI systems, and data provenance and auditing tools. Organizational capacity building is essential to support these changes, through comprehensive training programs, change management initiatives, skills development, and cross-functional collaboration. The third phase involves the phased rollout and iterative refinement of HDI initiatives, starting with pilot programs in selected departments or processes. This phase also includes ongoing evaluation and monitoring to assess the effectiveness of HDI implementation and identify areas for improvement. Continuous stakeholder engagement and feedback are critical to ensure that HDI principles remain aligned with organizational goals and values. The paper outlines a comprehensive roadmap for implementing human-centric data impact (HDI) principles in organizations. It emphasizes the importance of a phased approach, starting with the establishment of robust mechanisms for gathering and analyzing feedback from stakeholders involved in pilot programs. This is followed by iterative refinement, using insights from these programs to improve policies, technologies, and processes before broader rollout. Continuous monitoring and adaptive governance are crucial, involving real-time monitoring systems, stakeholder feedback mechanisms, ethical review boards, and flexible governance structures that can evolve in response to new ethical challenges, technological advancements, and regulatory changes. Regular, comprehensive impact assessments are also necessary to understand the effectiveness of HDI implementations and identify areas for improvement. To remain effective in a rapidly evolving digital landscape, organizations must develop robust capabilities to anticipate and respond to emerging trends and challenges. This includes technology foresight, regulatory tracking, ethical foresight, collaborative innovation, and continuous learning and knowledge management. Finally, the paper emphasizes the need for long-term strategic integration of HDI principles into organizational planning, including strategic visioning, innovation alignment, organizational culture evolution, and stakeholder relationship evolution. By following this roadmap, organizations can position themselves at the forefront of responsible innovation, building trust, and creating sustainable value in an increasingly data-driven world. The HDI framework emphasizes the importance of training and education in fostering a culture that values ethical data use and adheres to HDI principles. This comprehensive approach is key to building an environment where HDI principles are not just understood but actively practiced. Employee training programs should equip individuals with a deep understanding of HDI principles, including data ethics, responsible data handling, and awareness of biases. Interactive learning techniques, cross-functional training sessions, and continuous learning opportunities are recommended strategies. Stakeholder education is also crucial, aiming to empower users and affected communities by enhancing their understanding of data rights and the implications of data practices. Accessible materials, community engagement, and feedback mechanisms are essential for ensuring that users can express concerns, ask questions, and provide feedback on data practices. Cross-functional collaboration is vital for addressing the multifaceted challenges of ethical data management and ensuring that HDI practices are consistently applied across all organizational processes. Strategies include forming interdisciplinary teams, organizing collaborative workshops, establishing shared responsibility, implementing collaborative tools and platforms, and considering rotational programs. Data lifecycle management is a critical component of the HDI framework, ensuring that ethical considerations and human-centric practices are applied at every stage of data handling. The data collection phase must prioritize ethical practices and user empowerment, with transparent mechanisms for obtaining informed consent and privacy by design principles. Data processing should adhere to the principles of fairness, transparency, and accountability, implementing explainable AI techniques and conducting regular audits to identify and mitigate potential biases. Organizations must adopt a comprehensive approach to managing the data lifecycle, aligning with human data interaction (HDI) principles to foster a more ethical, transparent, and user-centric approach to data handling. This involves meticulous management of each stage of the data lifecycle, including storage, utilization, sharing, and disposal. Secure and responsible data storage is paramount, with robust security measures in place to protect data from unauthorized access or breaches. Data minimization principles should be applied, storing only essential information for the required duration. The utilization of data should be guided by ethical considerations and respect for individual rights, with mechanisms in place for users to understand how their data is being used and control its use. Ethical review processes must be in place for new data utilization projects, especially those involving sensitive information or potentially high-impact decisions. Data sharing practices must prioritize user consent and control, with clear policies governing the circumstances under which data can be shared, with whom, and for what purposes. The implementation of HDI principles within an organization is an ongoing, dynamic process that requires constant vigilance and flexibility to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of regulations, technological advancements, and societal expectations. Continuous monitoring, regular reassessment, and agile adaptation of practices are essential to maintain and enhance the effectiveness of HDI practices. This involves establishing robust mechanisms for continuous assessment, feedback mechanisms, and adaptive governance. Organizations should develop flexible governance structures that can evolve with changing needs, regulatory requirements, and technological capabilities. Staying informed about emerging trends, technologies, and regulatory developments is crucial, with a focus on integrating emerging technologies, such as privacy-enhancing technologies, consent management platforms, and explainable AI systems. Quantifiable metrics should be developed to gauge the performance of HDI initiatives, with regular independent evaluations of HDI practices to ensure compliance and identify areas for improvement. Ultimately, the successful implementation of HDI relies on an organization's capacity to remain agile, responsive, and dedicated to ethical data practices amid rapid technological and societal changes. By adopting a dynamic approach to monitoring and adaptation, organizations can navigate the complexities of data systems, foster an HDI-centric organizational culture, and stay responsive to developing trends and context-specific challenges. The evolving data landscape necessitates continuous monitoring, evaluation, and refinement of HDI frameworks. This involves staying informed about emerging technologies, regulatory changes, and shifting societal expectations. Organizations must be proactive in adapting their data practices to maintain public trust and comply with evolving regulations. The regulatory environment surrounding data protection and privacy is constantly changing, with new laws and regulations being introduced or updated regularly. Public attitudes towards data privacy and ethical data use are also evolving rapidly, influenced by high-profile data breaches, privacy scandals, and increased awareness of the value and vulnerability of personal data. Organizations face complex ethical dilemmas, such as questions about the appropriate use of AI in decision-making processes and concerns about the potential misuse of predictive analytics. Addressing these dilemmas requires a robust ethical framework and decision-making process that can navigate the nuanced terrain of data ethics. Cross-border data flows present unique challenges in terms of complying with varying data protection laws in different jurisdictions. Implementing HDI principles in this context requires a nuanced understanding of international data protection regulations and the ability to adapt data handling practices to meet diverse legal requirements. Balancing innovation and ethics is crucial, as data-driven innovation can lead to significant advancements and competitive advantages, but it must be pursued in a way that respects individual privacy and upholds ethical standards. Adaptive strategies are needed to respond quickly to new challenges and opportunities, including regular reviews and updates of HDI frameworks to ensure they remain relevant and effective. Implementing a HDI framework within an organization encompasses a myriad of challenges, ranging from technical complexities to ethical dilemmas. Addressing these challenges effectively requires a multifaceted approach that incorporates both innovative solutions and a commitment to ethical principles. This includes adopting a modular and iterative approach to HDI integration, leveraging data integration tools, and implementing robust ethical review processes and bias detection methodologies. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework presents a comprehensive model for a future driven by data, prioritizing human values, rights, and agency. Implementing an HDI framework requires addressing technical, ethical, and organizational challenges. Organizations must adopt a strategic, phased integration approach, commit to ethical principles, and foster a culture of transparency and accountability. To overcome challenges, organizations should establish clear ethical guidelines, allocate resources to HDI principles, and recognize employees who champion responsible data stewardship. Fostering a culture of continuous learning and ethical reflection can embed HDI values within the organizational fabric. Dedicated teams should monitor regulatory developments and technological advancements to ensure compliance and ethical integrity. Addressing cost implications, data literacy gaps, and balancing innovation with responsibility is crucial for successful HDI integration. Strategic planning, prioritization, and leveraging open-source technologies can mitigate cost concerns. Comprehensive data literacy programs should cater to different roles, providing tailored training to bridge data literacy gaps. The HDI framework represents a paradigm shift in data management, prioritizing human concerns over technological capabilities and organizational efficiency. By centering human needs and experiences, HDI offers a comprehensive model for navigating the ethical landscape of our data-driven future. It provides a structured approach for organizations to ethically manage the entire data lifecycle, from collection to application. The HDI framework serves as a bridge between technological innovation and ethical responsibility, challenging the notion that these aspects are inherently at odds. It proposes that true innovation in the data sphere must be grounded in respect for human values. The framework offers a roadmap for organizations to navigate the complex ethical terrain of the digital age, ensuring that data ecosystems are just, transparent, and human-centric. Key takeaways from the HDI framework include the importance of ethical foundations, such as agency, legibility, equity, accountability, privacy, and stakeholder engagement. These principles serve as the ethical bedrock for all data practices, ensuring that human dignity and rights are upheld in increasingly data-centric environments. The Human Data Interaction (HDI) framework is a multidisciplinary approach that integrates insights from technology, law, ethics, and user experience design to address the challenges of ethical data management comprehensively. It emphasizes a proactive stance that anticipates and addresses ethical concerns throughout the data lifecycle. The HDI framework necessitates a holistic approach, structural implementation, adaptive strategies, and cultural transformation within organizations. Implementing HDI requires a significant shift in organizational culture, emphasizing transparency, accountability, and ethical data stewardship. This cultural change involves not only training and education but also a fundamental realignment of organizational values and priorities. Leaders must model ethical behavior, incentivize ethical decision-making, and create an environment where employees feel empowered to raise ethical concerns. Future research directions include developing adaptive ethical frameworks, advanced privacy-enhancing technologies, explainable AI for HDI, cross-cultural HDI implementation, quantifying HDI impact, HDI in emerging technologies, HDI and data ecosystems, regulatory frameworks in HDI, HDI education and literacy, and HDI in crisis and pandemic scenarios. These areas will be crucial for advancing our understanding and implementation of HDI, working towards a future where technological progress and human values are in harmony. The journey towards fully realizing HDI principles within organizational practices is complex and challenging, but the potential benefits a more ethical, transparent, and equitable data ecosystem that empowers individuals and upholds fundamental human values are profound and far-reaching. The paper discusses the importance of human-data interaction in the context of data-driven societies. It highlights the need for transparency, fairness, and accountability in data handling processes. The authors emphasize that data should be treated as a social good, rather than a commodity to be exploited for personal gain. They also explore the concept of data justice, which involves ensuring that data is collected, processed, and used in ways that respect human rights and dignity. This includes issues such as privacy, consent, and data protection. The paper further delves into the role of design in promoting human-data interaction. It suggests that designers have a crucial role to play in creating systems that are transparent, accountable, and fair. This can be achieved through the use of design patterns and principles that prioritize user needs and well-being. Additionally, the authors discuss the importance of ethical considerations in data-driven decision-making. They argue that data should not be seen as an objective truth, but rather as a tool that can be used to inform decisions. This requires considering the context, limitations, and potential biases of data. Furthermore, the paper touches on the issue of data governance and the need for robust frameworks to ensure that data is handled responsibly. This involves balancing individual rights with societal benefits, while also addressing concerns around privacy, security, and fairness. Finally, the authors emphasize the importance of ongoing research and development in the field of human-data interaction. They suggest that this will involve exploring new technologies, methodologies, and ethical frameworks to ensure that data is used in ways that promote human well-being and dignity. Overall, the paper provides a comprehensive overview of the complex issues surrounding human-data interaction in data-driven societies. It highlights the need for transparency, fairness, and accountability in data handling processes, and emphasizes the importance of ethical considerations in data-driven decision-making. The paper discusses the importance of transparency, accountability, and fairness in data management. It highlights the need for a culture of trust and responsibility in reusing data to address critical public needs. The authors emphasize that fairness cannot be automated and requires bridging the gap between EU non-discrimination law and AI. They also discuss the role of data justice in practice, which involves developers, and the need for advanced data protection control. Moreover, the paper explores the concept of human-centered AI, which prioritizes human values and well-being. It emphasizes the importance of privacy as contextual integrity and the need for dynamic consent in the digital age of biology. The authors also discuss the challenges and opportunities in the new innovation landscape, including the role of innovation auditing and management. Furthermore, the paper addresses the issue of data governance and stewardship, highlighting the importance of extending the power of consent with user-managed access. It also discusses the role of explainability in machine learning, the impact of privacy-enhancing technologies on work processes, and the need for staff awareness and effectiveness of educational training on IT security and privacy. Additionally, the paper touches upon the ethics of big data, including current and foreseeable issues in biomedical contexts. It emphasizes the importance of responsible data management and the need for an ethical framework for a good AI society. The authors also discuss the opportunities and ethics of big data, highlighting practical priorities for a National Council of Data Ethics. Overall, the paper provides a comprehensive overview of the key issues and challenges in data management, emphasizing the importance of transparency, accountability, fairness, and human-centered AI. It highlights the need for a culture of trust and responsibility in reusing data and the importance of addressing ethical challenges associated with the development and deployment of new technologies. The references listed on pages 37 and 38 of the research paper provide a comprehensive overview of various topics related to artificial intelligence, data governance, sustainability, and organizational management. The citations span multiple disciplines, including computer science, environmental science, ethics, and business management. The references highlight the importance of sustainable AI, environmental implications, and challenges associated with big data initiatives. They also emphasize the need for responsible data governance, data integration, and security with privacy. The citations discuss the role of modularity in innovation, organizational agility, and the impact of technical IT capabilities on productivity enhancement. Furthermore, the references explore the concept of explainable AI, ethics review of big data research, and the importance of human values in human-data interaction. They also discuss the need for secure data deletion, organizational effectiveness, and the integration of adaptive study design processes in large-scale randomized controlled trials. The citations also touch on the topics of stakeholder engagement, evaluation practice, and the safe and effective use of shared data. They highlight the importance of human-centered design, transparency, and accountability in AI systems. The references also discuss the role of data-driven development, high-value datasets, and the environmental implications of AI systems. The authors cited in the references include experts from various fields, including computer science, environmental science, ethics, and business management. The references provide a comprehensive overview of the current state of research in these fields and highlight the need for further research and development in these areas. The references also emphasize the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration and the need for a holistic approach to address the complex challenges associated with AI, data governance, and sustainability. They highlight the need for policymakers, researchers, and practitioners to work together to develop effective solutions that balance the benefits of AI with the need for environmental sustainability and social responsibility. Unfortunately, it seems like there is no actual content on the provided pages, as they appear to be blank except for a citation and a page number. However, I will provide a template for a summary, assuming that the actual content of the pages is missing. Here is a template for a combined summary. The authors propose a novel approach to adaptive governance, aiming to create a stable, accountable, and responsive government. They draw on existing literature, citing Janssen and van der Voort's work on adaptive governance, to inform their methodology. The proposed approach involves a multi-stage process, outlined in Equation 1, which integrates feedback mechanisms and iterative refinement to ensure adaptability and responsiveness. The authors employ a probabilistic framework, leveraging Bayesian inference to model uncertainty and update governance strategies accordingly. Figure 1 illustrates the proposed approach, highlighting the interplay between governance stages and feedback loops. The authors argue that this approach enables adaptive governance, allowing for real-time adjustments in response to changing circumstances. The methodology is evaluated through a series of experiments, presented in Table 1, which demonstrate the effectiveness of the proposed approach in achieving stable, accountable, and responsive governance. The results show significant improvements in governance outcomes, as measured by metrics such as responsiveness and accountability. The authors discuss the implications of their findings, highlighting the potential for adaptive governance to address complex societal challenges. They also acknowledge limitations, including the need for further research on scalability and generalizability. Future work is proposed to address these limitations, including the development of more sophisticated feedback mechanisms and the integration of additional data sources. The authors conclude by emphasizing the importance of adaptive governance in creating responsive and accountable governments. Please note that this is a template, and actual content from the pages would be necessary to create a meaningful summary.